My favourite thing, I think, would have to be my gradual coming around to really enjoying Olivia Rodrigo's new album. I think she's incredibly talented. I wish her all the best.
Yeah.
I think she is a voice of a lot of generations.
Okay.
A lot of generations.
I was going to say, all right, Lena Dunham. I am the voice of my generation.
But I think she's great. And the pop culture moment that I love the most was John Mulaney's now ex-wife, Anna Marie Tendler.
Yeah.
She shared Brutal. I think it was Brutal. Or
I think it was.
And was just hugely supportive of it, being like, hit me up, girl. We've got some like big women support women. And it was just, I just loved to see it. It's my favourite thing.
It was nice. I liked it too. I haven't really listened to the album in full, but obviously my TikTok is just full of it, has it in the background of every video. And I just think the impact of it is just incredible.
She's everywhere.
Everyone. Well done, Olivia.
Well done.
We love you here, and we will also be your mum. So
yes, with Billy.
Another one of our children. Oh, and Jojo Siwa.
The other thing, it kind of happened, but I didn't really. Friends reunion that everyone was waiting for.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was it's okay. Like there was some nice like behind the scenes bits, and I kind of watched it mainly because it was just on. Yeah. And I put it on, and it was nice.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, because when the guest list had been announced, I know that people were confused because like Malala was on the guest list, and people, so it was like, what's happening? What's the like people like David Beckham, Kit Harington, and it was like, how are you incorporating these things? But it was just like short little clips from these people being like, oh, this is my favorite episode, I really like this.
Oh, well, that's cute.
And Malala was there with her best friend, and they were talking about how they love to watch it together, and it was really sweet.
Oh.
The only thing I was sad about, like, I really watched it hoping that Paul Rudd would be there, and he's not, so. So I was kind of sad about that. I was hoping he couldn't include Paul Rudd.
Yeah, no, that's a massive oversight.
So that was it. There was nothing big from that at all.
No. The other thing, I've got two more. Eurovision, we watched, I watched it from the start, and then Hannah was editing the podcast in one ear and watching Eurovision out the other.
Which I think is just a really good motif for our podcast. It's
so professional.
I hope the vibe you get from this podcast is like Europop as a podcast. Like I know it's not, but that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, that's the energy I always want to give off with everything I output into the world, like Europop. I love Eurovision. We love Eurovision. Right? We are big proponents of it.
I think it's because we love Europop as a vibe. And what annoys me so much is that every time England goes and like we submit something, it's never Europop. We do the blandest things ever. Why can't we?
Charts from 2010, and he didn't even sing well. Like
there's no choreo. Like there's no like if he wasn't singing well and there was big choreo, big costumes, and it was a Europop song, I'd be all about that. Like I'm not that into them singing perfectly.
Oh, it was so boring and bad, and I was like, and then it was just embarrassing. That's what they pay so much money to be included in Eurovision, which is why they're one of the big five. Yeah. So you don't really have to like qualify because you pay so much money into it, and that's what you send.
I just don't know.
But anyway, so that was weird, and that was the more the night wore on, we were like, oh, Britain's not getting. We're not getting anything. We're not getting any points, but we didn't deserve it either. No. But the band that did win, I can't remember. What they called?
I will not remember. The Italian band.
The Italian band.
Yeah, I'm sorry to you.
The energy they brought. They were all in leather. The main singer had like platform boots on. They were incredible.
I loved the outfits.
They were like not even heavy metal. They were like a rock band essentially. Yeah, I would say. But they kept being like, "Ooh, heavy metal." They were not heavy metal.
I feel like you could have had it on like the Twilight soundtrack. Yeah, so it was that kind of vibe.
It was that vibe.
It wasn't heavy metal, but it was like angry.
Yeah, it was great. And the controversy that emerged was he had to take a drugs test because it looked like, I'm putting this in inverted commas, it looked like he was snorting cocaine off the table, which he won.
Clearly
wasn't. Do it.
No, like of all the places, like, I'm not making funny. If he was gonna do it, you'd go to the bathroom. Like no one does that. Yeah. And two, like, I remember when I first saw that, like, rumored as a meme on, like, I went to Twitter and it was like, oh, so and so, like, and people were laughing about it. And I was like, it's so clear. Even when it was a joke, I was like, haha, that's funny, but there is no way this man is doing cocaine right now. Because, like, it wasn't even close to any, like, table or anything.
He was just looking down.
Yeah. It was weird, but everyone is, like, thirsting after that band now.
Mm.
They love that man. They said that he is replacing Harry Styles.
Ooh,
I have seen this, and then I've seen people in like the comments of TikToks that say this, being like, "You'll forget about him in a month. Harry is forever," and it's like, calm down.
The origins of them come from the same place. Harry Styles. Everyone forgets. X Factor was where One Direction came from, which is tackier, which is I think is worse than Eurovision. The final thing is that, I mean, we spent a whole podcast on this back in October. It was revealed that Kim K tested positive for coronavirus 10 days after she came back from the birthday island retreat, which means she might not have got it there because it does sort of appear like 4 days after the symptoms.
Yeah.
But still, can't have been that safe then, Kim, could it? And you could have put all those people at danger. And you were like, we all took
100% they did. I think this is actually one of my pop culture moments of the week, because in general it's just Kim Kardashian is having a bad week. So to start with, I think this is also from that most recent episode of The Kardashians. She failed her baby bar exam. I am not familiar. So I know that... I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar enough with the American law school, but I think it's like the exam you do at the end of your first year, which maybe is like a mock of like a bar exam. She failed it. I have nothing against that. Like, I mean, well done for trying, but I mean, you had a lot on. Just maybe one thing at a time. Anyway, but nothing against her for trying. But then she said something like, the baby bar is supposedly harder than the actual bar, and I'm just not sure about that.
That's not how it works,
I just
Kim.
don't think that would be... She says this is what she's been told, but also while she's talking about that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who knows the Kardashians, she's saying about how busy she's been and how she can't take it again because the next time to take it is in October or November, so this would have been last year.
Yeah.
And she was like, but I've got so many birthdays to be planning. I've got so many birthdays in that month. And I've also got the birthday trip. So she was clearly planning all these things at the time while we're having a pandemic. So
like, I'm still going to go on my birthday getaway.
Yeah. And like, also, I'm sorry, like, I'm not saying people shouldn't celebrate their birthdays for things, but like, if you really want to do it, then do it. Like a birthday, you can have one of them every year. You can't do the bar every year.
You can have them.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know, like having seen people who work towards law degrees, it's not an easy feat. Like I've watched people work like every day of the year, even Christmas Day, like not a day off.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can do it and have all of this other stuff on.
Yeah.
And do it in the same time as everyone else. So, like, that's nothing against her, but must have been bad. And then the other thing, I don't know if you'd seen this, but she's being sued by her gardeners.
I didn't know. What are they suing her for?
So her former gardeners and maintenance workers, they have accused her of a range of workers' violations, such as being...
surprising.
I know. Well, yeah, I kind of have other thoughts on this, which also comes from, like, recent Kardashian episodes, but... such violations as being late with pay, withholding wages for taxes without reporting them to the government. So, you know, that's
my God.
Refusing to pay overtime and making employees work without meal breaks. I think there was also something about a worker that was 16 having to work overtime and not being paid correctly, or like it's illegal for them to work the amount of hours they had.
Yeah, because they're child labour laws.
Exactly. Kim has said that they're suing the wrong person because she actually pays a vendor and it's their job to pay the staff. But
if you're the employer,
check in with them, like it's her garden. Could she not see that maybe
they're in her house? Essentially, they're on the grounds of the monastery,
or whatever that is. It's not even a house, is it? But then on the topic of them just treating workers badly, I'm not super surprised by this because in I think it's the most recent episode of the Kardashians, or it might have been the last one, Kim and Kourtney had an argument because Courtney like had borrowed Kim's nanny for the kids. The nanny had annoyed her youngest child, and apparently her child is very into at the minute. Courtney like telling people off in front of them to like so he knows she's got his back. Which yes, but like,
oh my god,
what? So she told this nanny off in front of her child, but in front of everyone. I think it happened at a restaurant.
Oh
this
my god.
Nanny like leaves in tears, is like broken by this, tells Kim has a word with Courtney about it, and is like, you can't even keep a nanny. Like, she's so clearly this is like a common occurrence. And I know there's been like talk in the past, I think one of Courtney's children has like scraped a nanny and stuff like that. And I'm not saying like, I'm not parent shaming. I know like a lot of children can be quite naughty, but them not treating their gardeners right, them not potentially treating their nannies right. I just really don't like the sound of that. I think, I mean, to be fair to her, it seems like Kim is like quite, like she did stand up for the nanny, so.
Yeah, because she's probably watched how she is with her kids. And I imagine if you do nanny for someone, that you essentially become like a trusted member, even though you're a paid member. So that has a different dynamic to it as well. But you do think, well, I know how they are with my children. Yeah. And the fact that you're like belittling them in public so that your youngest child, what kind of parenting is that?
I have no idea. Like, I understand it in like the case of if the child had a falling out with a sibling.
Yeah.
You might like tell the child off. It doesn't seem right to me. Like, it seems like you're maybe encouraging bad habits, because what happens when this child's like 10 and is like shouting at all the people who work for you? Like, it seems like that's not an effective way of dealing things. Anyway, another thing I've seen this week, which just so bizarre. Taika Watiti, Rita Ora, and Tessa Thompson appear to be in a throuple. Now, I don't want this to come across as me being against throuples. I absolutely adore throuples. I think throuples incredible. The idea of it, wonderful, well done. But Rita Ora does not deserve this.
No.
I'm sorry, but why does Rita Ora get to live these dreams of people? Like, why is she getting success and like the best throuple ever? Like, how is she getting to be involved in that?
I don't know.
And if you don't know what our problem with Rita Ora is, I think we've talked about it in past podcasts, but like, I mean, I think she's blackfished and a lot, which I don't really think we've talked about that much. And also the fact that she just blatantly broke coronavirus lockdown rules
for her birthday.
For her birthday, showed no remorse over it, and just continued to do a lot of bad things regarding that. So we're not too keen on her getting to live the dream right now.
No, and like, I found it weird, and I mean, I think it should be an episode of our new Patreon celebrity cursed couples.
Oh yeah, because this is cursed.
Because this is up, so we will get into it more
Taika
in like
and Tessa. Love that.
No.
Give me more of that.
I found it weird that
Taika
and Rita were together anyway. I was like, this
that
is
was
not
rumored beforehand that they were together.
Didn't enjoy that like coupling, whatever. But then the pictures came out, and I was like, and there was another guy that Tessa Thompson was with.
Like in the background where they're all canoodling, and he's just sat there fully like fourth wheeling it.
No, but then there's a picture of Tessa kissing him, so maybe it's like
good
a full poly fun time. Yeah. But we support it, but not Rita Ora being there.
No, I just can't like.
She just doesn't. She's not. I don't think she's a good person, like, and she's a bit weird.
I'm intrigued to how like Rita Ora is to the rest of the world, because in England, I would say that she's like she's a singer, and we all know her, but we're all confused. Like, we don't know how she's still going, if she has fans. So I'd be intrigued to like, how is she known in Australia and New Zealand? Because they're in Australia now, because she's one of the judges on the Australian Voice. But why the Australian Voice? Are you a big fan of Rita? Like, what's happening? My final one that I just want to get in, because I've talked about it before and I'm really happy about this. So you might remember a couple of weeks ago I talked about the CW doing a version of the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
The pilot's been cancelled, or it's being rewritten or something. It's been scrapped, essentially. I think they're probably going to try again. And just remember, it's been scrapped by the CW, who do Riverdale. So think how bad this is to be. So my worst fears were true. They'd made the Powerpuff Girls into adults, and it was very like, it was like a very sexual script. Like, that's not really like, if they're adults, that's fine. But I just don't like the idea that we've gone from like a cutesy TV show about children like just fighting crime to sexual adults. Like, I don't know what, it just doesn't sit right. So some of the this is some of the leaked script. I haven't included all of them, but Buttercup goes to try and wake Blossom up. It goes, Bloss, wake up, or we'll leak your nudes everywhere.
What?
Yeah, and then Bubbles is talking about Blossom, and she's like, Blossom's fine. I saw on her Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw on her LinkedIn that she got promoted, and I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa despite their political differences. And then Buttercup says, coming back here is probably triggering for her. And it's just like that exact thing of like, it's adults writing what they think like teenagers and young adults want, and it's not what they want.
No.
And it's happening time and time again. Like, can you at least maybe consult some teenagers or hire some younger writing staff? What's happening?
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, what? No, but like, it's just so funny to me that it's been scrapped by CW. Like, they
how bad it was.
How many seasons in are we with Riverdale? And like, the script for Riverdale is pretty bad. Like, we have agreed. You can watch our Riverdale episode, well, our teen drama episode. Riverdale script is like the worst thing about that show.
Yep.
So I'm glad, at least, like, if they're gonna rewrite it, hopefully it'll be better, or maybe you could just scrap it forever, seeing as no one wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. And all the negative press it's getting, it's like, okay, maybe take this as an intervention from the gods.
Like, Winx Saga thing, where people were like, we love the Winx Saga because of like all the good costumes they had and how bright and colorful it was, and you took away like that favorite aspect of it. A big bit of like the Powerpuff Girls was like how cartoonish, bright and colorful it was, and the costumes, and then they put them in these like basic like £5 costume versions of what Powerpuff Girls wore, whereas what people would want is like cool fashionable like clothes from now with little, like, maybe they could all be wearing bits of their own color, but don't just put them in a green dress, you know.